What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast. By the time this comes out, it'll be Christmas Eve, and everybody will be getting ready for the holiday festivities. So we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate around the Christmas time, around the holidays. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, join our Discord, and then head on down to our Twitch page where we have lots of tournaments going on, boxing on the way. We got a duos tournament coming up next week. So we've got a lot coming all the way around. All those links will be in any of those things at Grab My Banner Podcast. Go ahead and find that everywhere. Boys, let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week. It's been 2 weeks. I'm glad to see you guys. It sucks not having a weekly episode, but we had some stuff we had to take care of last week. I would just like to say I'm glad we're all back around this table.
Same.
Holiday cheer is spreading right now. I feel it. I feel it in the air. Let's get into our Raise Energy question. Speaking of holiday cheer, who amongst the characters do you think are jolly and full of cheer, and who do you think are the Scrooges here?
Well, I was super bummed because they have the Saint Caustic skin, which looks amazing. But I thought that Gibraltar was the shoe-in for Santa Claus.
Yeah.
How is he not?
How is he not Santa?
I mean,
he's a polar bear.
He's the polar bear, right? And that's all well and good. But, man, he's got the build for it.
He has... Not only does he have the build, he has like everything. He's got the joy, the laugh. He's fat as fuck. He's got all of it. Yeah, Gibraltar definitely should have been some form of Santa Claus. While
no, that caustic beard just fits.
It does, but Caustic.
But he looks like dark.
Caustic is the biggest Scrooge out of all of these
100%.
people.
Maybe Rev.
No, that was Revenant.
But Revenant doesn't even count because he's not even real.
No.
Yeah.
I got one
at one time.
Scrooge is definitely Caustic. It's got to be Caustic.
Yes, definitely.
Do I think he's Scrooge? No. Do I think that Gibraltar should be Santa Claus? Maybe. And do I think that Caustic shouldn't have been Santa Claus and should have been Krampus? Definitely. I could see Loba being a Scrooge.
No.
Think about it. Think of how shitty her Christmas was probably initially. Like after she lost her parents and everything and all that kind of stuff, not having anyone around her. She probably had some pretty bad Christmas growing up. She might not have good memories of it.
Yeah, she is a thief.
I think I have a hot take on this, okay? I think Loba's like Robin Hood, and she like steals from the needy or steals from the wealthy and gives to the needy.
Have you seen her lifestyle? She's not. She is the wealthy. She steals from everyone
and
wealthier and gives to herself.
I think Pathfinder probably sets up the best lights in the neighborhood. Slaps him on a zip line, just starts shooting him across the house.
Dude, yeah.
Probably looks really good.
I always think
Pathfinder's got the spirit 12 months out of the year.
I think of Pathfinder when he puts up the lights, it's like, have you guys ever watched the live action Grinch where like the lady has like the machine gun that shoots the lights onto the fucking thing?
The one doing the competition?
Yeah, she's like fucking do.
Yeah, that's Pathfinder. That's 100% Pathfinder. That's perfect right there.
I thought that'd be Rampart.
Rampart, she'll instead of a Christmas tree, she just puts lights around Sheila and puts it like in the corner of the house. That's where all the presents go underneath.
That's fair. She's the one that tries to shoot Santa down.
Yeah, probably. When she was a kid, she was definitely like, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to catch this son of a bitch Santa Claus who's trying to break into my house. She was definitely that.
Breaks in every year and leaves me a fucking pistol.
I put down because I still believe that Watson is the most boring person on the planet. I put down that Watson looks forward to her special pair of socks that she gets every single year.
So
Hanes white with the red line across the front. That's her
Watson's
favorite.
got depth, bro.
No.
Watson's got depth.
Listen,
she's got as much depth as a kiddie pool.
Watson. Wow. Watson is definitely the person that writes her thing to Santa, gets it sent off, and sits there patiently, makes cookies, puts out the milk, makes sure the milk has ice in it so it stays cold for him.
Have you guys seen the meme of where it's like when your mom gets you that present she said all year she wasn't going to get you, and it's like that kid with his legs crossed over and he's drinking the hot cocoa? You know which one I'm talking about? And he's making a face. Yeah. I put down Lifeline as that, and I also put down Lifeline would give you the best presents of all time. Like, you would just get the best presents from Lifeline. Things all year long, and they would be surprised. You would be surprised as hell, too, because you didn't think it was coming at all. All of a sudden, you open it, you have the best present. You're like, holy shit, it was everything you could have ever asked for. That's the vibe I get from Lifeline.
Yeah. So I got an idea. So Bloodhound, I always picture Bloodhound as like the person that doesn't really like never had Christmas, but is like trying to get into the Christmas spirit. So they're like trying to give you a gift. and you like open it, and it's like a big ass knife, even though you have no interest in hunting whatsoever, and you're just like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
Gives bad presents.
Bloodhound's literally like you're gonna open the box and it's gonna be a whole like deer's leg just inside of it.
For you, venison.
Feast of the hunt.
Feast of the hunt.
When I think of Bloodhound, I think of the Jim Carrey movie. What is it? Where he's the animal? He talks to animals.
Pet Detective.
Oh,
Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
Ace Ventura.
I think of the Ace Ventura scene where he's being birthed out of the fake rhino. I think of the you going to the zoo to see real reindeer and then Bloodhound just like coming out of one.
Sounds about right.
So we talked about who's the Scrooge. Who's the most festive?
Not
even most festive, most spirited.
I would say Lifeline.
It's got to be Gibraltar.
Lifeline or Gibraltar. I had both of them as. I put Gibraltar down
Also
too as making the best
parenting
cocoa.
duos.
Yeah.
No, false.
I would say Mirage is
Harking
probably
back.
the best, just because he had a full ass train, he had a bow.
Oh,
He had literally he went not only all out for Christmas, but he's the only one that did it so well that everyone else would have left what they were doing to join him.
yeah, that makes sense.
Second, I would give an honorable mention to Horizon. I feel like she would just go above and beyond in everything Christmas.
Yes, tell me Horizon doesn't decorate the best house around the holidays.
Oh,
Her house on the holidays, you walk in there, you just feel warm.
And it just
could be
smells
65 degrees in there.
Horizon-
It smells like nice
Like
pine needles.
gingerbread cookies.
Gingerbread cookies.
houses.
So,
Dude.
literally, Horizon does all that, and then she goes gets fucking turned up at Mirage's
Yeah, probably.
party. Yeah,
Probably.
Oh, sure. Or she'll do that, or she'll just leave her kid
She-
behind and be a bad parent.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
She
that.
was, dude, she was saving the world.
We don't have to get into that.
A bad parent.
I have one other thing I really want to get out there. Wraith is definitely the person that buys stuff for herself, but then wraps it and then opens it for herself on Christmas Day. Oh no! It's always something crazy expensive too.
It's just gonna say Secret
Like a new
Santa.
Gucci
Yeah.
backpack.
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
like, "Oh, thank you so much. Who got this for me? Oh, it doesn't say." Any other thoughts other than Rev being a Scrooge? Because I mean, that's the most obvious of all time.
Definitely.
I mean, I got thoughts, but it
Okay,
pertains
so
to gambling.
I would say that Bang is a Scrooge.
Nah, dude, she's that one person.
You mean like
she's
the hard ass?
she is super uptight the entire time
No.
of her life, and then she gets to Christmas, and it's the one holiday she gives a shit about.
No way.
That
And
does
she's-
make sense.
No,
No
but
way,
when she does
Brian.
it, she does it in a very like it has to be done this way. Like she's cracking the whip, and she has a very like strict cadence and pattern that she has to do her Christmas in. I wake up in the morning. My family opens their presents. We go and have breakfast. Then we go to grandma's house, and then it's
I
that
actually can see
routine
that.
every year. And
That-
if it's not that, her Christmas is fucked.
I wouldn't call her a Scrooge, but what I would say about Bangalore is there's one string of lights around the house. You know, there's one
the
string
belt-
of lights around the tree. It's
belt-
like there's
she
nothing.
has the belt string.
Yeah, there's nothing crazy about her Christmas. There's some presents under the tree. They open them up. Maybe there's. It's nothing crazy, but it's not. She's not a Scrooge. I don't think.
She's not a Scrooge. She's as routine as Watson, but as strict as she could possibly be.
Makes sense.
That
I think
or-
that makes sense.
That or she's the one girl that's like super uptight all year, and then she gets to the Christmas party and she's just wilding out. and
Dude,
taking 9
I got money on
shots.
that. 5 drinks in,
Yeah.
and Bangalore becomes a whole different
She
fucking
might-
person.
Oh my god.
She might just love Christmas because
You
she can
guys
party
want
hard.
that to be true.
I
You
think I
want it
do.
to be
I
true.
think
Dude,
I
she
do.
is such a dry.
Dude, she's a straight up
She's-
coal giver. That's
listen.
all she's got. She's got 3
get-
stockings full of coal, and that's all she's wrapping. She's just making perfect little one piece of tape presents that just have coal in them.
You got a
That's
lump
all
of
I
coal,
see.
lackey. This is probably the time of year. If she's going to go all out, she's going to go all out. And it's going to be at Mirage's party. And you know what? She may not remember the next day because hoorah.
I just can't. I cannot stop picturing Pathfinder setting up Christmas lights. I just want. I want to see a house decorated by Pathfinder and his ability to just shoot lights wherever he wants.
Does-
Like I just want to see that so bad. I already
Man.
said it, but I don't know if you guys heard it. Gibraltar makes the best hot cocoa. 100%.
100%.
He makes the best cocoa. Best cocoa of all time.
Who does?
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Octane.
No.
Well, his is illegal.
I was like,
It's good.
listen, his is spiked, and you're going to keep coming back for more.
What do you think he asked for Christmas?
Coke.
Yeah, that makes sense, too. I'd love to talk more about Octane, but it just always, drugs.
I think he asked for a treadmill that can keep up to him. That's pretty
ask for a Peloton breaks it.
Peloton breaks it 3 days later.
I wonder if Peloton has like a lifetime warranty that they can just use, he just keeps getting new ones. All right, so that'll just about wrap it up for our Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget, guys, to head on down to RepSports, REPPsports.com, where you can order any set of Raise Energy. You can get your favorite flavor in a 24-pack, or you can just go ahead and try out the variety pack that comes with 4 different flavors. Use code BANNER at checkout. My favorite pack is the variety pack number 1. I've said this before. I love the Apollo flavor, so I'd like to have that. So don't forget to do that. And if you send us a receipt on any of the social medias of you getting yourself a variety pack, we will send you a handwritten card. It's not a lot, but it's from the boys. It's from the heart. That's all that matters. Okay, we want you to be a part of it. Check out Rep Sports, Raise Energy. Really helpful during a good gaming session. It has always helped me out. All right, guys, well, we're going to move on, and this one I'm so excited for. We're going to get to our Reddit discussion. Once again, we call it the Reddit discussion. It's more just us talking about something that we think is fun, and this week we are going through the best loadouts in Winter Express. From top to bottom, there's a bunch of loadouts. They change daily based on, it goes to a different character each day, but we're going to go through the loadouts themselves and discuss the best ones, the ones you should be using if you're trying to have fun, the ones you should be using if you're trying to win, the ones that fucking suck. We're going to talk about all of them. Let's get into it. And Brian, you're shaking your head. Looks like you have some thoughts over there. What are you doing?
Well, I'm thinking back to when we talked about this just a little bit earlier, right before the show, because we were going over the topics, and Kyle mentioned his favorite class, and I just sit here and go, motherfucker, that's so sweaty. This is the class that they put in there for you to play the game on easy mode. And that is the class with the Havoc turbocharged and a freaking gold alternator.
Oh, yeah. All purple parts and then the gold sight. Yeah.
Literally, that's the secondary is a freaking gold gun. Okay, that's the secondary.
And you can swap out. So in Winter Express, if people don't know this, you can move your attachments around based on what you want to do. If I had that class, I'm definitely swapping out the purple stock, putting it on the Havoc, and I'm just rocking a fully loaded Havoc.
Just
like straight top to bottom. Listen. Just wrecking everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to just switch out for a gold Havoc now. Yeah, okay, listen. You have the highest or the best TTK in the game on a gun, and then you have a gold gun as your secondary. Oh, okay, I got frags on it, though. Like, dude, you're throwing him to the back of a fucking train.
That's got to be up there for one of the best.
Like, that's one of the best. Listen, it's one of the best. To me, it's not the best because fuck that class. I refuse to say that it is the best.
That class shits on people.
No, that class is easy mode. That class is in there, so you never have to worry about a game. If you want to sweat, if you want to go hard, and you want to win every game, in a game that's supposed to be a fun pastime, go ahead and play it.
You know what's fun, Brian? You know what's fun, Brian, is winning. Yeah. Winning is really fun.
Winning's more fun when it's actually a challenge.
But I will say this. I don't like the class, mostly because I like to have fun, and I think the best class, the absolute best class, if you're trying to have fun, is the Sentinel with the Mastiff.
Oh, yeah.
By far.
Overrated.
Oh, I had a 3K damage game with that one with Caustic. If that class is on Caustic, just quit. Play a different game for that day because you're going to get shit on by every Caustic. I had 14 kills, 3,000 damage. It was insane, but it is by far the funnest class.
It's so solid.
Incredibly,
you can take the sight off it too.
Incredibly fun class. Overrated as hell.
No, it's not.
Get out
what?
So
one of the few classes in this game mode that really struggles with dealing with multiple people.
Yeah, I guess, but if you have good teammates, so if you're playing with Kyle.
I was going to say not with Kyle.
Exactly. So if it's me, you, and Troy, somebody's got to rock that class.
It's a good solo
then you get solid support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if I have you guys and I have solid support where I don't have to worry about a one shot. If I'm playing with Kyle, I'm going to have to go with the sweatiest class in here.
Hot take theory. Kyle plays with that Havoc class purely because he doesn't know how to play with a teammate.
And if he doesn't have that class available to him, he's definitely grabbing the turbocharged Devotion.
If he doesn't have that class,
that class is so good.
if he doesn't have that class,
Especially
he's
because it's the train. It's like one big
Yeah,
lane.
you just
and
shoot
you just
down.
Ramp that thing
Exactly.
up and everybody
literally he
dead.
just takes caustic, throws all his traps behind him, and then just fires the Devo down the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and if it's on
It
Rampart
works.
that day, once again, log off. Play a different game. Go do something else.
Also, the Spitfire with the purple mag. That
dude.
thing just
Disgusting.
Shoots, it shoots for like 2 straight rounds. and
Troy,
then you
stop.
reload.
Yeah, you just go
Stop.
forever.
So fun.
Stop.
That is fun.
No.
That is
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
No.
You don't have
That-
fun using a Spitfire?
I have,
That listen, no, the fire rate is so slow on that. The DPS is so slow. You could start shooting somebody first, and so it'll get fucking melted.
I
Brian,
have-
you got to do something called dodging the other person's bullets. You got to
Or
go up
shoot
and down.
headshots.
You got to go around like this.
Even if you
want
shoot
DPS,
headshots, it's
you
not.
could do the flat line with the the purple mag.
That
and the
is-
purple stars
that's-
on it.
That's
why
my
it's
favorite
good.
class.
Honestly,
that
I
is
have
my favorite
I
class.
have that class incredibly fun, very good. I have it as underpowered.
Let's go around and do our favorite class, and I'll start with myself. My favorite class to use, I do have the most fun with the Mastiff and the Sentinel, but my favorite class by far is the one Troy just mentioned, which is the flatline with the purple mag and secondary of an RE45 with the blue mag. That's a class that I use when I'm playing ranked. I use that frequently. When I'm playing ranked, I'll do that a lot of times. So that is by far my favorite one. What do you got, Troy?
You know, I really love the Spitfire just because I hate reloading in this game. I think it's like one of my biggest rage moments is when I'm reloading and I die, which is like 50% of the time that I get in a match. So I love the Spitfire class, but my top class is surprisingly the beefed up Hemlock with the R99.
Yeah, that one's
because
solid.
I think I've now become convinced that the Hemlock is the best gun in the game, but
Definitely is.
you know, only behind the Kraber.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. But if I'm trying to have fun, I'll do the Mastiff with the Sentinel.
Yeah,
That's just badass.
What do you got, Brian? Favorite?
My favorite class to play is probably that Master Sentinel. It's fun as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the best class by any sense of the word. I think the best overall class is actually that R301.
No, save that. We'll do that one right now.
So I think the highest ceiling class is going to be that Hemlock and the R99.
Okay.
That's the highest ceiling.
Yeah. Kyle, favorite class?
Other than the really sweaty class that I love, I also really like the Wingman with the P2020.
Oh, that one's gross
That's
too.
fun.
That one's gross.
That one's
'Cause you
fun
got
to
the,
use.
You got the headshot multiplier. What is
From
that?
Skull Piercer.
Yeah, you got the skull piercer, and then you just switch to the hammer points and just rip people. Oh, it's so much fun.
So, since Kyle started playing PC lobbies and I have to play against PC people, I gotta say when I see a dude on a mouse and keyboard with a P2020, it's a literal like I'm shitting my pants moment. They fire that
They're
fucking gun so fast, like
Oh my
your
God.
head will spin how fast they shoot that gun. That one is definitely with the Mastiff and the Sentinel for fun
Yeah.
because that is a fun
yeah.
class. Anytime you're using the Wingman in a mode where it's not like life or death and you're just having fun, which this mode is, it's always fun to use that Wingman. Let's get into what you think the best class is, and I will start here. I think you have to go with what Troy talked about, the beefed up Hemlock with the R99. I'm having trouble using the R99 here, but I do have that Hemlock on single fire, especially when they try to land off the train, which is a theory a lot of people try and use, land off the train, try to come back in, let the two teams fight on there. When you have it single fired and you can fire long range with that nice little scope that it's got on there, it's a definitely dirty class. So I like that one probably for the best. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. If I was any good with the R99, it'd be even better. But that Hemlock is freaking ridiculous. I never get sick of melting people with that thing. But I will say the most satisfying kills that I get in this game are either like one-shot headshots with the Mastiff, or when I get a kill just using the Wingman.
Yeah.
Like if I just nail some Wingman headshots like that, I feel like God.
I feel like a god.
Yeah, I feel like God.
What do you think, Brian? Best class?
Like I said, highest ceiling is that same class you're talking about, that Hemlock R99 class. But I think the best class is actually the R301 with the Mozambique hammer points.
Oh, yeah.
That one's definitely.
You get the most consistent with an incredibly high burst damage on a shotgun that has decent range.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I don't like is that the R301 has a white mag. If it had a blue mag, it would be.
Oh yeah.
But see, and that's the thing. So the R301 is, if you look at the guns, you want to put them lower than the Hemlock and the 99. But the grenades on the class actually, for me, make a really big difference.
They do.
Having that thermite allows you to control a little bit more space, even if it's just for a short time. But it does help. Like there's certain things that it's better at, and I feel like it's all around a better class for up close and that mid range, which is really all the train is mid and up close range.
Yeah,
nah, dude, not with that white mag. Especially when the grenades don't respawn
you
between
gotta
rounds,
remember that
which is kind of bullshit.
You only have to crack the shield because that
Mozam
with the hammer points will fuck them up from a distance too.
and it swaps out faster, I think, than most
Exactly.
weapons. So
Yeah,
I think they did
Because
that by design.
because it's a pistol.
Yeah.
So you can definitely make an argument that the R301 with the Mozam is the best. You just have to use it in a slightly different way, which is crack with the R30 or with the R301, and I think I said R99 last time. Crack with the R301, and then hit him with the Mozambique for that kill.
I know,
Nice.
but then you got to reload both of them. And the
No, 'cause-
Hemlock is 2 people, and if you're good with the R99, it's 1 or 2 people.
Well, you don't have to reload
You know what I
both.
mean?
You only have to reload one.
What are you talking about? The
Mo-
Mozambique would be out,
Mozambique can one
probably.
shot. No, it can one shot with the hammer points.
Oh yeah.
It can one shot
Yeah?
with hammer points.
Yeah,
yeah.
6 if you
It's
don't.
pretty.
It's also a
that's-
sniper rifle with the hammer points.
Yeah,
You can
which
shoot
is
long range.
which is what I mean. Like you really only. It's got 3 pellets, and it's enough to. At the very most, you're 2-shotting somebody, and it's got 4 shots in a clip. You at least have 2 kills with that thing before you have to reload.
Thank you for that buff.
Thank
by
you
the
for
way.
that buff.
Thank you for the buff. The Mozambique is no longer a meme. It's now
Yeah.
the P2020.
Yeah. Kyle, I know you already said it, but go through your best class, the class you think is the best.
Well, the best class is obviously it's the Havoc turbocharger with the alternator that's fucking gold,
Sweaty.
because you just melt kids with the fucking Havoc, and then you switch to the alternator when you got to shoot long range, and then you just switch back to the Havoc, and whenever they get close to you, just melt them.
You can usually tell that the devs thought that a class was overpowered when they put the frag grenade as the grenade in there.
Definitely, every
how-
class has a frag grenade. You're like, this is a little too good.
Yeah, that's how you can usually tell. Let's go through and do a class that we think is a little bit underrated and maybe you have fun using on the DL, on the down low. I'm going to go with the motherfucking triple take and the wingman. You take the scope off the triple take. It's essentially a shotgun because it does have the built-in precision choke, and then you get the wingman as a secondary quick swap to the pistol, and it's got arc stars, which arc stars are, in my opinion, the best grenade. So that's probably my favorite one to use on the DL. I've used it a few times when I have a character like Caustic or Gibraltar using it, and it's just too disgusting. It's unfair. Even a Wraith with a really small hitbox, that class is unfair. What do you think, Troy?
I'm pretty sure I've used the G7 with a double tap trigger.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is.
It is.
EVA 8. It's got the EVA 8 next to
Right
it.
there.
Yeah, dude, that shit is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that so much. It's such a satisfying cadence you can get into when you're like at a medium range. So that one's, it's kind of a weird pick, but like I've had some really consistently fun games running that.
No, I don't think it's weird at all, especially because it has the red dot. And when you get a G7 with a red dot, because that iron sight is garbage, but when you get a red dot and you're just aiming down a train, I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So there's a class on this game mode that is almost built for me in specific. If you ever play with me, the one thing you'll know is give me a fucking G7 Scout, because I am absolutely dominant with that single fire gun, because it's not a fast enough fire rate on the gun for me to need a trigger finger. So it's great, and I still get to land shots, and my favorite sight on it is that 2 times. And, I mean, the Spitfire is a Spitfire. I guess I can deal with it.
You're just...
But I will sit there all fucking day. I know it's not the best class out there. I've never tried to say it. If anything, it's very subpar, but I fucking love that G7 with... Like, I will use that as a fucking shotgun if I need to, and it is nasty.
You're just sliding the Spitfire so hard, and I hate it. I hate
Dude,
it.
Spitfire is the worst.
Spitfire
This is from me, who fucking hates the L-Star. Spitfire is the worst heavy machine gun in the game.
I was actually going to say that might be my second best class. Because the L-Star, if you take the scope off of it, it is so disgusting up close.
I will never...
I hate the L-Star, but when it's up close, That thing is
That thing rips.
That thing
I
rips.
will never take a scope off an L-Star. That muzzle flash literally kills the gun for me.
You got to kind of play it like it's Valorant or CS, and you got to just move down after you start shooting. It's like an instant reaction when you use an L-Star.
Yeah.
And then you get a Spitfire with purple everything, and all you got to do is take the scope off. The other underrated part about the Spitfire is its iron sights fuck, so that's always good. Yeah. And then you get thermites. I mean, that class got to be in my top 2.
I mean,
top 3.
So it's such a workhorse.
It is.
That class can just handle anywhere.
That class
anywhere,
is like,
anytime you can be competitive.
That class gets out DPS'd by almost every other class.
It don't matter. You just sit down.
If they can,
5 hours later.
If they can land their shots, you're going to get out DPS and you're fucked.
That class brings its lunch pail to work every day. It's got a blue collar, works his tail off, logs overtime, doesn't put it on the timesheet. That's what that class does.
And doesn't get nearly as much pay as the Hemlock does.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
Hemlock can have its white collar. One day it's all going to come crashing down.
All right, my pick is definitely the Devotion with the P2020. Just because that
for
one's the fun as fuck.
For funsies?
Yeah, because as long as you can control the recoil on the Devotion, you just... As soon as it charges up, it goes, and you just fucking
What do you mean
rip.
it charges up? It's got a turbocharger. It's instant.
Well, and then as soon as you fucking rip it and you get down, well, because
it still takes a second.
Even with the turbocharger, you still have that moment where the recoil's like really fucking high, and then it goes back down to just where you can just control it really easily.
That's why you hip fire first.
That's for dog shit players, Brian. For players that can't control the recoil. Okay.
I was gonna say I wanted to throw out there that anytime you have a Volt with a purple mag and it's still one of the worst classes, that's how bad the charge rifle is. Fuck the charge rifle.
Yes.
That class has got to be one of the worst. That's why you see the arc stars on there. The charge rifle is so bad that it makes a Volt with the purple mag bad.
Hold on. There's a very select few group out there that fucking are charge rifle enthusiasts. They love it. It's hit scan. A lot of them from Call of Duty. Troy might be one of them. But they can sit across the map and snipe. This game's not about being across the map and sniping. You're never going to get many kills when you're sitting a mile away with a 6 to 8 times scope hitting with a charge rifle, unless you are absolutely insane at tracking in this game, and you probably play PC, to be honest, because that's where most of the high-end tracking skills are. No offense to console players, your arm has better dexterity than your thumb.
With that being said, man, like, I don't want to get into these upper levels where these guys are just ridiculous. Like, I can just imagine what a wingman looks like on somebody that's cracked.
If you're in a diamond lobby and you see a Wraith start shooting a wingman at you, just fucking
kill yourself.
Just literally kill yourself.
Yeah,
like, just click pause. By the way, this has nothing to do with what I just said, but I saw a video this week. It was a streamer. They posted it on Instagram. It was a streamer, and he's sitting there, and he lands. He has an Octane on him, and like as his teammate. They land. He's running towards a blue armor, and you hear the Octane stim run and grab it. He literally just clicks pause, quits the game, and he just like looks up in the sky like this. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Completely unrelated from everything, but I was laughing so hard, dude.
Dude, who was streaming with Kyle?
Sounds about right.
Dude, that probably was Kyle. Any other classes that just fucking suck? I was gonna say the other one was the longbow and the Volt, because the longbow's fully kitted, but like
No,
It's the longbow
I actually kind of
still.
like that one, but I think that the one with the R99 and the EVA 8, I think is dog shit.
The longbow is so ultimate ass. That gun is ultimate ass.
You shoot him
It's
in
so fucking
the It's
bad,
120
dude.
if you shoot him in the head.
Listen,
It's ultimate ass, Kyle.
no.
Ultimate get
Troy,
ass.
Troy, longbow is good.
Dude,
Longbow's a
longbow
good gun.
is not, Brian.
It's a good gun.
Longbow's
Dude,
you might
Do
as well
you-
just use the
Oh my
wingman.
Do you want me to dominate you with a longbow this time?
Brian.
Dude, he's not going to
That
dominate.
was so ass, dude. It's so bad.
If Troy has... Oh, okay, listen. If Troy has a wingman and you have a longbow,
I will
I'm
fuck
taking
him up.
Troy.
I'm taking
All
Troy
day.
out
Fuck him
all
up.
day
All
long.
day long.
I will
Troy's
fuck him up.
aim
in
is
the
Brian,
All
ass.
Brian,
day
I mean
long.
no disrespect. I do think the longbow sucks.
Listen,
you say-
I can still
Yeah.
pick up the longbow and dominate a lobby with it.
No.
No, I can pick up the longbow and I can run a lobby.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I want to
can-
see it.
I can
Don't
pick-
smile at me. I wanna
I
Please
can
see
pick
it.
stream
up
this and put up a video, and I'll watch it, and I'll
Done.
make sure.
Done. I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right.
Give me like a little bit of like days to play. I won't even play with the longbow. The reason why is I haven't played in like a fucking week.
All right, Fine.
So give me
You get a couple days. And
Give me,
then I want to see the stream.
because I know myself, I'm gonna suck ass if I just jump straight back into it and say I can do this. It's
I'll
not
be
gonna
in the
go well.
comments.
Be in the comments. Go ahead. You be in the comments going, "Son of a bitch, he was right."
Oh
Be in
my
the
god.
comments.
All right, well, that was our Reddit discussion. Some of the best guns to use in Winter Express. I gotta say, before we move on to the next segment, our main discussion, this mode, having it as a backup, has kept me playing Apex longer every single time I load up the game. Every time I'm done playing ranked or I'm done playing casuals, and I'm like, oh shit, I have a fun game mode that I can play right now that I don't have to be sweaty in at all. I can just have fun, shoot some guns, shoot some people, climb a train, fucking fly out of the sky. Having that mode there is by far and away, number one, it's the best LTM, and number two, it really keeps me more engaged in Apex Legends, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
Keep this mode around, or find some sort of alternative that's similar to this where it's fun, because this is fun, man. Like, if this was a year-long mode, I would play Apex Legends at least, if we're talking a year, 20 to 50 more hours longer. Because, like, when I'm done playing ranked Apex, I usually just exit out of the game. I'm not going to go play casuals because I have to play the same way as ranked. I like to win. I don't like to die. When I'm playing Winter Express and I don't care about that, I'm having fun for hours. Almost all of our streams have either been boxing or Winter Express.
Pretty much.
It's fun. It's we can talk to our chat. We can do all the fun stuff. We don't have to feel like we're being cracked out of our minds. We can just have a good time. So thank you, Respawn, for this mode. I love it. This is a great mode.
Please keep it.
Please keep it. Let's move on to our main discussion. We're going to hit a quick ad, and we will see you on the other side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is season split time, and while I don't totally agree with it being at World's Edge, we have a guide for you to rank up in World's Edge. How great are we? We're fucking awesome. We're some of the great. We just gave you a Christmas present. We're going to get you all the way to Apex Predator. Holy fuck.
I don't know about Apex Predator,
It's
but
a
we'll
sh-
get you up there.
I'll cut that part out. We're going to get you to Apex Predator. So let's get into it, boys. World's Edge is obviously a much different map than Olympus. There's a lot of different strategies that you need to take, different character picks, different gun picks. Maybe not too much different, but there's a difference there. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's get into it. All right, so let's start off with which play style is the best to take when you're trying to rank up in World's Edge. I'll start with you, Brian.
I have one phrase. It's not my normal one. Get your 5 and survive.
Okay.
That's it. If you don't even have to actually get your 5. When I say 5, it's kills and or assists. Get your points, and then it's just placement. You don't have to be hyper aggressive in competitive. All you care about is getting positive each and every game. Get positive, and you'll rank up.
Kyle.
The number one thing I want to say is that you don't want to land center of Cap City because there's like 90 billion people that land there, and then they all get shit on because there's one predator in your lobby. You're getting fucked, and then everybody else is just, lambs to the slaughter, and then you're just, you're never going to make it out of there.
I actually agree with that.
I
think
highly disagree with that.
Dude, get out of here. Anyways, so I'd say you land like somewhere close to that area, but not like terribly far. Somewhere close to a hot drop, but not the hot drop itself. Land somewhere near there. There may be a team that lands with you. You kill their ass, and then you're off to a good start, and then you just roll from there.
I very much disagree with that, and here's my reason why. Is the easiest time to get kills in this game is very early in the match. That's the easiest time. Everyone can agree on that because the other team is not looted. They might not have armor, all kinds of stuff like that. You can get a lot of easy kills early. What you have to get good at when you drop hot like that is escaping. If you can get in and get 1 or 2 knocks, you don't have to get full kills because a lot of times that entire team is going to die on you from somebody else. All you have to do is get out after that. Once you've gotten out, you walk out of there with at least 3, either kills and or assists. And now you're sitting up where you're probably already positive in most of the ranks where most people are at. And then you just have to survive.
I'm kind of in the middle of both of you guys as which play style I think you should be running on World's Edge. I think it's a mixture of both. The get your 5 and stay alive thing really makes sense in the context of, ranking up in the best way possible. But I think Kyle, where I play into Kyle a little bit, is get your 5 and stay alive. I don't think has to apply to the beginning of the match, especially in a map that we've known for a long time. I think it's a lot easier to get your 5 here compared to Olympus, where Olympus you really have to, at least right now in Olympus, you really have to bide your time and wait on the fights that you take, because we do know that the sound travels a lot more in Olympus. I do think they'll fix that. But at least in World's Edge, third parties aren't as prevalent. It is Apex Legends, so you're always going to get third party. That's one thing I don't get when people talk, maps. You're always going to get third party. That's what fucking Apex Legends is one gigantic third party. But at least with this map, World's Edge, it's a little less likely to happen. So get your 5 and stay alive, but also don't play super hyper aggressive. Wait and get your fights. If you haven't fought anybody with 8 squads left, I wouldn't rush and get I got to go fight somebody right now. No, wait your time. A lot of times some of the best fights happen when there's 5-6 squads left. You can get in there, at least get 2 to 3 kills, maybe 2 kills, 3 assists near the end, get yourself a win. You got your 5, you stayed alive, you got the win. I think that's the best way to play in World's Edge.
So let me add a little thing to mine. If I'm playing with a full squad, like a full squad of people in this room or something like that, I'm playing a little more conservative. I don't mind dropping out just outside of the hot drop and getting looted and running in, because I know my team's going to cooperate in those team fights where everyone is kitted. But if it's solo, if I'm trying to rank up by myself, I'm trusting myself to get kills and to get knocks, and I'm getting out and getting myself out.
Anybody who's played Apex knows that playing solo, you kind of have to be a little bit more selfish, because teammates typically aren't very good, especially if you're not in comm. So I get what you're saying.
It's not even that they're not good. It's just there's no communication, no teamwork between
them,
and that's the issue. It really comes down to that. Now, if I'm playing with you guys, yeah, I'll drop somewhere a little lighter. I might go Harvester, or I might go to that little tiny town just outside of Capital City, or I might go somewhere like Geysers or something.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to which characters and which team comps you should be running depending on the map of World's Edge. I will start. I think the best composition for you to be running out there if you're trying to really get far in ranked is going to be a Wraith, a Bloodhound, and probably either some form of a Gibraltar or a Wattson. A Gibraltar giving you that shield, giving you that extra oomph on your team composition is really good. And like we've talked about 1,000 times on this podcast, Wattson on World's Edge is like peanut butter and jelly. They just go together. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of places that you want to lock down. Even maybe a Caustic could be like a sub out if you're trying to really shake things up. But I think you should be running a Wraith all the time, Bloodhound all the time. There's too many rats out there, including myself, especially like getting to Diamond. There was a few games where I really had to rat out because your teammates are dead. You have nowhere else to go. So get yourself a Bloodhound, get yourself a Wraith, and then swap in either one of those Gibraltar or Wattson. I'm leaning more towards, now that I'm talking about it, I'm leaning more towards Wattson over the Gibraltar. But that's what I would say.
What rank are we talking? Because as you go up, the teamwork tends to get better, which means that those defensive strategies tend to get a lot stronger.
I think in the lower ranks, if you're a player that consistently gets to either Gold 1, Platinum level, maybe even Diamond, it's okay in those early levels to be using a more aggressive composition. But I'm thinking of my ceiling and how I could move forward from my ceiling. It would have to be running that comp. So that's what I'm thinking of.
The way I look at it, if you're in bronze, play whatever you want.
It
doesn't matter. Listen, if you're in bronze, people in bronze tend to struggle with just hitting their shots to begin with. And that's not saying that you do. It's saying that the people in your lobby in general will struggle with the actual mechanics of the game, which is movement and hitting your shots. Therefore, exploit that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I play a fast-moving character and really exploit it if you want to play Octane.
Yeah.
If you get to silver, okay, now you need to know how to use the character's abilities.
Yeah.
Pick a guy and stick with them and just run it. Try to pick someone that you can carry forward. When you get to gold, okay, maybe you find a teammate. Maybe you get into some games, you start having to rat a little more, whatever it is. Start playing someone where when it's time to engage, you can engage, but someone that you can solo carry with. I recommend a Bloodhound. Mm-hmm. Once you get past that, you need a Wraith.
Yeah.
Wraith is a cornerstone. I think Bloodhound's a cornerstone. If your team is hyper aggressive, Horizon in this map is insane.
Yes, she is.
Pathfinder in this map is insane.
Yes.
And if they're not aggressive, you do not have an aggressive team, and you can ask them, are we going to be aggressive or are we not? You can go with Gibraltar or a Watson.
The smart play is what like the pros use, which is a Jib, a Wraith, and a Bloodhound. That's what the pros use. That's the comp that like is the best. But if you're an aggro player, like Brian said, definitely you can always swap the Jib out for either a Horizon or a Pathfinder, somewhere along that lines. In some cases, actually, if you have somebody that's too aggressive on your team, like they push too far forward and get fucked, you can also have the third person be a lifeline, which the reses are clutch, and being able to play around the lifeline shield is just OP in a lot of ways.
I will say that in Olympus, especially because it's a newer map, it's a lot easier to get to higher levels. I got to Diamond last season. This season, I know for a fact, after multiple attempts at this, I get to Platinum every single season. You cannot get anywhere beyond Platinum without a team in World's Edge. You just can't do it. So if you're trying to go further, then you definitely need to have at least one or a full squad, because the map is just not as big. It doesn't carry the same way, and so you need to have yourself a team.
It promotes engagement more, so it's harder to survive to the late rounds and just kind of farm RP.
Definitely, I would say you need one mobility character to help you move your team, like a Wraith or a Pathfinder, or somebody that helps you move your team along. And then you definitely need, if you're going to play that defensive play style, you need those defensive players.
All right, so let's move on to what guns you should be running. Here on World's Edge. It doesn't change a whole lot in the top part of it. It does change a little bit near the middle and bottom tier weapons, especially when you're down and looting and maybe early game. So which guns should you be running? I'll start with Kyle on this one.
I have written here the Hemlock, the Volt, and if your shot is even worth a damn, you should use the Mastiff and the Wingman. And then also, if you can control recoil rather well, if you can get a turbocharger, any of the guns that have a turbocharger on it, you use those. And then if you control recoil well, also use the R99 because it fucking rips. But if you can't control recoil well, I'm telling you, the R301, baby, that shit rips people.
Good analysis. Now notice all of those guns he said are not long-range weapons. That is not a mistake. That is by design. World's Edge is not a sniper map. I'll go next. If you're going to be using any sort of sniper, it's either the Kraber you got from a crate or you get yourself a triple take because it's essentially a shotgun. It's just not a sniper map. The only way you can really use snipers, in my opinion, is if you're using if you're locking down a building with a Watson. That's pretty much it.
There's one that's should be the Sentinel when it's charged in this map up close.
Rip.
If you have a crack shot, if you can land that shot with that Sentinel, that's a fight.
I just don't think it's worth replacing like a secondary weapon. Like
it's not always replacing. It's more along the line. Like it's down in the tiers. It's definitely dropped. I would say it's beat up by every single shotgun now, including the Mozambique, only with the hammer points. But including the Mozambique, it's right after that triple take for me.
Honestly, I really like the Sentinel just because if you hit the headshot, even if you don't charge it, it's 120. Their armor's gone, bro. So, I mean, and if you do charge it, if they only have blue armor, that's an instant knock. That's like we engage now and fuck that team.
From
like
range.
100% from range. Like, that gun rips. And people also, like, there's also a mental game you got to play. When you hit one shot with the Sentinel and just rip somebody for 70, they're like, fuck me. Like, they just immediately get scared. And then you just swap to your other gun and rip them.
That starts to change in the higher levels, though. That starts to get a little different.
People they understand a little more. Like, if you hit somebody for 70, if I still have shield, I'm not too worried about dying immediately. As soon as my shield's cracked, I go, oh, shit. Because I know that what that means to the other team is they have an advantage in that fight.
In any instance on World's Edge, if I drop and there's a Sentinel and an R99, I will take it. The second I come across a Mastiff, a Hemlock, or a G7 Scout, I am dropping that Sentinel is what I'm saying, pretty much. Yes. So, but I think you had a really good list of guns there. I pretty much follow suit with the exact same thing. I'm a big flatline guy. A lot of people don't give love to the flatline, but I'm seeing a lot of pros at the higher levels use it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. I'm a pro, just kidding. But I wanted to be one, so I tried one. And I've actually had a lot of fun using the flatline. And they tend to be everywhere. Like, it's just a gun I find. Yeah. Maybe it's my own RNG, but it's fucking everywhere. And a lot of times a good secondary for that is a hemlock, either on single fire or on triple fire, whatever you or whatever,
burst fire.
Fucking burst fire. It's what is it? 5 shots?
3.
It's like 5.
Three.
Oh, it is
Prowler,
3 shots.
Prowler's
5
five,
shots.
yeah.
So using that as secondary, especially when you're heading over to a replicator, you get double the ammo from it. That's always a good combination. So I'm going to say flatline. Along the same lines with Kyle, I think at some point you just have to be like, listen, I fucking suck with the Mastiff, but I will be good with it until I will die trying to get good with this gun. You kind of have to, because it's so dominant. It's one of the only guns in this game that can take out a squad by itself if you play your cards right. It's one of the very few guns that can do it. So, you got to get good at using that Mastiff. R99 is always good. R301, always good. Hemlock rips right now. Fucking rips right now. Yes. And then the triple take and G7, I feel like if you're going to play a campy play style, run those guns, man. Those are very solid guns to use. What do you got, Brian?
Mine can, for the most part, be described fairly easily. Snipers go down on the list, shotguns go up. But my question is this gun better than the R301 right now? If the answer is yes, I want it. Because the R301, I will always state, is a good enough gun to get you a win. And to win a team fight as well.
Yes.
You just have to be good. As long as you can aim, you're fine.
Especially if you get a big mag.
Exactly. But so, like, guns that have high recoil, I don't have an issue with that because that's just a skill thing. You have to be able to control the recoil. Those high burst guns, the Massive is as fucking much as I hate shotguns.
The
Wingman. Guns like that. Even the P2020 hammer points. That's a gun where it's like, this gun is, I love the gun, but it's not better than the 301, so I don't want it in competitive.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's move on to places that you should avoid dropping in World's Edge. Now, most of you guys know the drill with World's Edge. You know what's going on. It's been around for a while. We should still throw this in there for anybody who's new to the game, trying to figure out how to rank up. I think, obviously, the very first one is just don't go to Fragment. Just don't. You could go to Fragment West, the Pentagon building sometimes. But you should avoid Fragment if you're trying to rank up, especially if you're newer. You can come out of there with some kills. And that's not to say you can't do something good there. You just got to be careful, because that is, if you want to talk about third parties and what Olympus brought with third parties, that is the one spot on this map where third parties are going to come, and they're going to come hard. I wouldn't even drop their gold.
I would go there gold.
I would drop
let me rephrase that. I would go there gold. I would go there in gold 4. I wouldn't go there gold 3, because then you start bringing in plat players.
Yeah, I'm trying to rank. If I'm trying to rank up, I'm never landing there if I'm trying to rank up.
As I go up in the rank, the more likely I am to move away from that main building, that one broken building that everyone goes to, and start moving a little more outwards. So if I'm in silver, I'm still going to drop there. If I'm in gold 4, I'm still going to drop there. If I'm in gold 3, I'm probably going to drop to like the actual train station, or maybe one of those buildings just on the other side of it, or something along that lines where I can third party a little easier, but I can still guarantee myself a gun. Or if a shit ton of people are there, I'm probably going to go to that little city to the outside.
There's too much not in my control to land there. Like, I would much rather land at a place like Survey Camp, where there might be one other team that goes there, in very rare cases, maybe 2. But there's guns guaranteed on the walls. If I'm trying to rank up, I'm trying to give myself the best odds to get weapons and to get set so that I can actually get some RP. So that's why I never go there. I think there is good loot there, but the chances that you get it are drastically lower than any other place that you land on the map. Maybe Train Yard's another one of those where I avoid. Let's get in some other places we should avoid. Any that sit on your mind?
Well, definitely the train station or whatever. Not the train station.
Train Yard?
Train Yard. Yeah. Train Yard's a clusterfuck. it's just got too much up and down for you to keep track of, and unless you're like Pathfinder where you can switch up and down really quickly, or like a character that can
Horizon.
change elevation system.
I've also never felt like Trainyard really gave the loot that a place like Fragment did.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to choose between the two, I would definitely go Fragment. Even though more people go there, I feel like there's a lot more loot to be had. Trainyard's always felt like barren to me. Like I really have trouble finding like a whole lot there.
I struggle to get high tier.
Yeah,
there. Like
and if I do,
I
it's
might
like,
get stuff, but I won't get enough to get set for the shit that I went through.
another place probably Sorting Factory. Now, Sorting Factory is a little easier because it's so big that there's a lot of different places to go, and Sorting Factory will give you that loot. So if you had to go anywhere that was hot, I would suggest Sorting Factory. It's centered as well, pretty centered. It's not the most centered. Obviously, that's Fragment, but it's pretty centered. That's another good place to go if you're trying to drop hot, but that's probably somewhere if you're trying to rank up, I wouldn't suggest going just because a lot of people are going to go there. Let's get into some places that you do want to land if you're trying to get yourself a solid weapon, maybe some solid loot getting out of there to start a game off. I really love Survey Camp at the far northern part of the map. Survey Camp has the guns literally on the wall for you. It does get a little hot sometimes if the drop ship is flying right over the top of it. But Survey Camp really has never steered me wrong. I never land there and die by another team and be like, wow, that I shouldn't have landed there. It's always like I should have hit my shots. I should have done this because I always have something. I always have a weapon in my hand.
I like Harvester, but that's just because I like to bum rush the middle part, and as long as you control the center part, you basically can win Harvester almost every time.
I love Harvester as well. The other two things about Survey Camp and Harvester is they both have replicators that will spawn there sometimes.
That's a very big one. My location doesn't have a replicator, but it's actually that area that's just north of Survey Camp. It's between Survey Camp and Skyhook. It's right between that.
There's little like mountain.
The little mountain, where the train station was, where it has that zip line that you can fly off of.
Yeah, the one the far back.
The jump tower in the far
very
back.
New.
Very new area, very underused area in my opinion.
It's got really good loot. Too.
Very solid loot, enough to definitely fill. We see a lot of people look at it like, yeah, there's enough loot to fill my squad. No, I want enough loot to fill 3 squads. And the reason being is because at least 2 of the squads could land at that location with me. So I want to make sure that my team has enough to get kitted.
That's a good spot where if you're trying to land Survey Camp, you could peel off if there's too many teams and go into that area. That was actually a spot that me and Troy went to when we were playing our games that really helped us out.
I'm not opposed to dropping all the way back by that balloon, to be honest. Because if it ends up getting flooded, you have the balloon to get out. You can get shot off of it. I understand that there is that risk. But at least you have some sort of escape out of there.
Yeah, that's true.
A place that we've landed a few times, and I know that we've had some fights recently, is the Dome. And the Dome really gives you the loot that you need. It is far out there. There are balloons. But the Dome will always give you what you need. And surprisingly, at least in my own situations, I do get a good amount of people landing there, so I have a fight right off the rip. Another good thing about the Dome is people seem to love Lava City. I've never understood it. People fucking love Lava City. And so you can just rotate out of the Dome, go towards Lava City, or head on down to Launch Site, which is another place that I really enjoy. Launch Site is cool. It gives you the loot.
Not a big fan of Launch Site.
Launch Site has really good loot at it, and then it's got a really good rotating area because you can just rotate to Sorting Factory and you get tons of kills.
Tips and tricks. Ranking up in World's Edge, I'll start the best tip I can give anybody who's just trying to rank up, especially in World's Edge, find yourself a rotation that you can run multiple times over and over and over again. Will it get repetitive? Yes, but it will also become familiar. And when you find those rotations, things tend to go a little bit better because you're more familiar with your surroundings. Any ranked season any of us have played, we always find 2 to 3 rotations, and we run it the exact same way every single time. And every single time, well, I won't say every single time, most of the time it benefits us because we have a genuine idea of, okay, this is what we are doing. So there's really no stray from that path unless we say so. And so most of the time we know which direction we're going. We know the hotspot areas where we might run into a team. We know all of the things that we need to be able to do. Loot, if we really need some loot. We know all of it. Find your squad and get you a rotation. Find 2 or 3 depending on where the drop ship goes. Get yourself one of those and run that. That's my best tip that I can give you for ranking up in World's Edge.
Mine kind of feeds off that a little bit. It has to do with keep moving. don't sit and loot for the whole time. In competitive, people are gunning for points, and they're gunning for RP. If they see you looting, you're dead. You're dead to rights to that other team. Don't sit around and loot. If you have your gun, if you have your armor, you'll get the rest from getting kills through the loot boxes. Now, do not take a lot of time. Grab what you absolutely need and get out.
I would just say, get used to landing in a lot of different areas, and get good with a lot of different guns, because RNG is a real thing, and you got to know how to use every single gun to the best of its abilities.
All right, so we will get into our gambling segment of the show. We're going to hit a quick ad, and we will see you on the other side. All right, so last time we were with you guys, there was a challenge on the table, and the challenge was Brian was going to put all of his bones. He was the first one to ever hit 1,000. He was going to put all of it. He hit like 1,700. All of it on a challenge with Troy. It was me and Troy versus Brian and Kyle in a duos tournament. Our 4 best games from the day in a 2-hour span. And we have the results. And I will read the results, at least for my team. I think you guys have your results. Do you not? Do you remember them? So we have our results sitting here. Who would like to read the results first?
Why don't we let you go?
We scored decently high. The thing I was most proud of was we had 3 first-place finishes in our 4 games. 1 first-place 4 kills, 1 first-place 8 kills, 1 first-place 2 kills, and then a second-place 2 kills.
How many kills?
That is a total.
Okay. How many kills?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
How many? Do you have a quick tally?
Let me do a math.
Did we have a quick tally? 35 kills.
Okay. But where'd you guys place at?
We have one.
I think we just beat you off kills
Yeah,
alone. Shit.
We have 1 5th place, 1
Oh.
first place, 1 second place, and 1 6th place.
Oh God!
Jeez, you got a.
I don't even want to
You
win.
got a 5th and a 6th.
A 5th and a 6th
But
place.
we have a first place with 10 kills.
Okay.
Literally,
that carries you through right there.
That carries you
even-
through.
literally, like, you guys, the way you described it, you goes, we scored so high, and you were trying to, like, psych us out so much before we played our games.
Yeah.
And we go and play our games like, dude, we didn't play that well. Like, we actually played kind of shitty. And then we look at your score compared to ours, and son of a bitch, you guys,
The
what the
kills
fuck
are
happened?
heavily weighted.
Listen,
though.
did you
108
guys-
to 121 isn't
every-
that bad.
every
number one.
lobby-
That's very close.
Every
Very
lobby that
close.
they had,
108 to 121. We beat you by 13.
Yeah, that would have
every-
been like
listen.
a few more. That would have been like 5 more kills.
yeah, but you had
Yeah.
how many first place finishes?
We had 3.
Yes. So what I see in that is every lobby that you guys were in had 2 rats in it.
Nope. I mean, we had a first place 8 kill. That was 2 off of your first place 10 kill.
How many of those kills did you have?
Okay, first of all, don't come at my teammate. Because let me say something about Troy.
Listen.
Let me say something about Troy. Every time I said Troy, he is one shot. The guy went down, okay? Especially one game where I went down and Troy
Troy's good at
triple
making-
takes some dude in the fucking face. It was badass. We didn't count that game, but it was still sick.
You
Okay?
just described 2 kills.
No? I didn't. I don't have it written down who got who kills, but it wasn't. It was way closer than you guys think. It wasn't like I just lopsided took over. The only one that was a little crazy was our first place 4 kills. I think I had all 4, but he had damage, and so that's really what matters. And here's what I will say.
In the words of Troy, do you know what it means to have a lot of damage, not many kills, no clutch?
Yeah, dude.
That's
That's
what
what
I-
happens when you've only played the game for 3 hours. All right? Listen,
true.
I'm getting better. That's all that matters.
Didn't-
Every
Wyatt,
day,
hold on, Wyatt,
I'm
didn't-
getting better.
Didn't you jump on a different account that would have a
Yeah,
much
didn't you have
lower
lower
SBMM?
All of us have jumped on a different account.
I did not.
Kyle
have that
has.
No.
No.
Kyle's on PC.
So am I now, but when I played those, I was not on
He's on
PC.
his
I was
PS4
in my PS4 account, which is a much higher SBMM. I was in plat.
The
at that
same
time.
logic can be applied to Kyle being on PC.
No, because
I'm playing controller
No,
on
because
PC,
it goes.
I
off
am
the,
too.
It goes off the highest ranked player's SBMM, which would be mine, which would
How do
be
we
a
know
plat
that for
SBMM.
sure? How do we
Wait,
know that?
but what's your
'Cause-
KD?
My KD?
Yeah, it's
Over-
sub 1.
No, it's over 1. After that season, it's over 1.
It was like 0.98 when I got you that G7.
I had a whole nother season, you motherfucker.
No. That was the end of this season.
End of last season, yeah.
And that was the end of last season. This
But
season's
it's another half a season,
there's
dog.
another half a season, bro. I've been dominant. They put me in Olympus, and I became dominant.
Here's what my strategy was, okay? Because I said, listen,
To get all the kills and let Troy sit there.
well, that didn't happen, so no. Here's what happened.
I
said
it really didn't. He probably could have done better if he hadn't involved me as much. But we played very cooperatively.
That's the part I was most proud of. I even said after we finished, I said, even if we don't win this, I couldn't imagine logging a 5th and 6th place score. And I said that before I even knew you got. No, I'm just fucking. But no, I'm proud of the way we played. And what I'll say about Troy is he can fucking hold the line. If you need Troy to hold the line for you, like we're holding this spot, he will hold it.
You mean
I'm
that?
not shitting on you,
So
Brian.
you say you can hold the line. What happened when we played our games? Literally, I was like, Troy, they're one shot, and you're fucking a mile away.
Well,
yeah, Brian.
Troy,
that's 'cause
where are you?
Okay,
I'm
are
rooting
you
the
talking-
city
are
2
you
cities
talking
back.
About the times when
Brian.
I'm saying, Brian, I'm not ready to go, and then you're like, dude, I'm down, and you're on the other part of the map.
Okay, no,
And you
First
turn
off-
back and you're like, dude, you can't take so much time to loot. I was like, Brian, I told you I'm not ready.
that's nowhere close
Brian,
to how that
here's
happened.
the
That's
difference.
exactly how that
Brian,
happened.
And I'm going, Troy, where are you? He goes, I was looting, dude. I wasn't ready. I was like, what do you mean you weren't ready? We already
I
cleared the whole
said
city.
out loud,
you know what
I'm
this
not
sounds
ready.
like? This
also,
sounds like-
you led me into a 2-on-1 and then said I was going to spring a trap on them, and no one died.
Listen. I can only do that if you can live longer than one clip.
Dude, there was so many clips dropped by both guys.
I said there was people on me. You should turn that corner expecting them to be there.
We had to know it was
Why
going
does this sound like Brian originally? Like OG.
This is
Brian?
what- yes.
This is what it used to be.
Kyle, we had to know this was going to turn into them arguing and us just being like,
Listen,
Back in the day, Troy was Brian.
no,
bro.
no,
We were-
Brian,
listen,
Brian,
Troy,
you want
exactly what's going on with Troy is what I was in the beginning. I know
Yes.
what it is. I
Brian,
understand.
Brian, you
But at the
wanna
same
know
time,
what
being on
this
the flip
sounds
side,
like?
what the fuck, Troy?
Brian, you want to know
Brian,
what this sounds
You
like?
gotta
This sounds like
keep
you're
your
like,
eye on where I'm at.
this sounds like you had a newborn 2-year-old. No, not a newborn. You have a 2-year-old child. You hand him the keys to the house. Be like, I'm going away for a week. Don't fuck up the house. And then you come back. The door's open. There's raccoons living in the garage. Like you got the whole house. The baby's gone. You're like, what happened here? Well, you gave the house keys to a 2-year-old.
No,
Troy's brand
listen,
new.
Listen, he was following me all the way up to this point. He was following me. He's running a Spitfire. I go and ping the blue heavy mag for him, which is on our route. I run over the top of it, and he's running right behind me. All he has to do is walk by and hit square. And instead of following me towards the right, towards train yard, he decides to go far left, the complete other direction.
He's new.
Why are we not talking about the fact there were multiple games where I had more damage and more kills than you?
Because I'm trying to save your ass the whole time.
No,
Oh
dude.
my
Brian,
God.
that's bullshit.
Brian,
Bullshit, Brian. You literally were there when I got I won a 2-on-1 to pick you back up. That's happened at
Troy.
least once.
Troy, I had cracked
In
both
the
of them
three,
and hit him for help.
my God.
Brian, here's what I'm going to say.
Troy,
The first
you did that because you were late to the fight.
Listen, all I'm going to say is that Wyatt never left me behind a single time. There was
No,
not
no,
a single
no, no, no,
time
hold
that
on.
Wyatt
There
I
left
was
was.
trying to show you pace.
There was
Keep
one.
pace.
There was one. Okay, so I told Troy before we started, I said, we're going to play this slower because I remember the first time he played with us, things didn't go as we planned. The first game we dropped in, there was a team on Olympus. I remember the exact moment. There was a team on Olympus. We landed in docks. I ran after the team. Didn't realize Troy wasn't behind me. He wasn't. I go down. We died because of it. And he goes, oh, shit, my bad. At that point, I was like, you know what? I know how we're going to win. And I changed my plan. So my thinking now switches to maybe Kyle's not the bad teammate.
No.
Hold on a second. Maybe it's Brian over there. He couldn't adjust. He couldn't adjust. I could adjust. I got 3 wins in a second place.
It's not
Maybe
me
Brian
not
can't
adjusting.
adjust.
No, it's not me not adjusting. What it is me taking a note out of your book and how you taught me how to play this game effectively. And you said, I play at a pace. I play the best when I'm at this pace, and I need you guys to match this pace because if we match this pace, we are going to play much better. And we're going to get into a rhythm and survive, and we're going to thrive in that
is a
rhythm.
quote out of your book.
And that is how me and Kyle got to learn how to play the pace of this game and how we got to be able to knock and rush and kill people.
It is a fair point, but here's what I will say. After this recent run-in getting to Diamond, I realized that is not always the best way.
But
and especially when you're playing with a new player. You guys were not new. We had all been playing the same amount of time.
But to have that in your back pocket, to have that skill set in your back pocket in Diamond, is that not very effective when it says
is.
It's time to go, we need to go? And is that not the most important thing as far as winning a game? Is you need to go when it's time to go?
It depends on what you're doing.
How would you know? How would you know, Troy?
Listen,
how would you know?
Not even in Diamond.
Here's the reason why I know is because I've actually seen people that are hella good at video games. Okay, and people that are hella good at video games, there's tons of different ways to play. All right, when you get to that top level, when you get to Diamond, it's not about here's my cookie cutter formula of how I'm going to succeed.
No,
it's not like that, bro. You can't teach me what you think is going to get me from bronze all the way through gold and through platinum, but without telling me. I was literally saying I'm not ready.
My words to you were before.
You didn't have the talk with me that Wyatt had with you.
My words,
I didn't get that talk.
My words to
I
you
just
were
got you in the fucking cave.
My exact
and me getting 2-on-1.
My exact words to you. We need to move at a fast pace and keep rotation, because if we lose rotation, teams are going to be coming in at times when they're not supposed to, and they're going to catch us off guard and only grab what we need.
Brian, you're forgetting. Like, when I told you guys that, we had all been playing the same amount of time. Did you take a little bit of a break? Yes, but we had all been playing and we knew the game. You're telling a blind person, hey, why don't you fucking see better? He's new to the game. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You're
like, hey,
he's played first-person shooters, though. He's a good shot.
We have always talked about how this game's different. Here's what he is a great shot. He is a great shot, which is why
I can be.
When I put him in a situation to win, we won.
Which is why I'm wondering why he couldn't land enough shots to at least knock one person from the first team.
Because you kept moving, he had to go get a gun.
No, I was right behind them. Dude, I kept pinging. I said, they are right on me. They're on the other side of this wall. They're right on me. And you turn the corner and don't expect a team there.
There was two teams, Brian.
Bro,
you were pinging one of them. The other one had already got to me.
They came through the same way. I said there's two teams. The first team came. That was the team I was calling out to you.
I think
I said they're coming to
way
you.
More communication than actually.
Bro, I have this recorded. I have this recorded.
We need to watch.
We need to watch this together. We need to watch this together. We'll make a video. We'll make a content piece out of it. We'll all sit down and we'll watch.
Troy's going to see my view, and he's going to be like, "Ah, shit."
Let's see it.
We'll do that.
Let's see it.
Here's what I will say.
I know.
He wants it now.
Well, I can't.
We can't do
it now.
I don't need it now.
Okay.
I'm saying
I'm
excited to make that content.
It should be
on
Twitch.
The stream,
it should be on Twitch, and it should be
It stays after 2 weeks.
So can I just mention that we entirely deviated from how Troy got absolutely slaughtered in the gambling session?
I didn't get slaughtered. 13 points is not getting slaughtered.
Okay, first of all,
if I had a 5th and a 6th place, I wouldn't even turn it in, honestly.
Shut the fuck up.
I ain't even turn it in.
Hey, listen. What was your highest kills? Let me ask you that.
It was 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did that single-handedly, and I got a 6th place, so you can suck it off.
Here's what I'm saying. I'd rather get first than get a bunch of kills.
Brian
That's all
went
I'm saying.
down.
I play to win the game.
In our 6th place win, Brian went down and died, and I killed 6 people for this.
Kyle did pop off on that.
Hey, Randy Moss caught a lot of touchdowns, caught a lot of yards. Never won that Super Bowl, baby.
But we won the Super Bowl, baby. But we won it.
No, you didn't. You won a bones contest.
Technically,
we got a first as well.
Brian definitely won it. Yeah. What
wasn't even close.
5,100 bones.
I don't know. It was fucking nasty.
We had a first place 10 kills.
You got one first place.
Nobody's ever going to beat
first
that.
place 10 kills.
75% of our games were won. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
We have a second place with 11 kills.
I mean, you throw me and Troy in 10 games, fuck. That's disgusting.
Well, I mean, when you're just ratting the whole time, I mean.
We're not ratting.
Yeah, you're just ratting.
Wasn't ratting.
Listen,
here's what I'll tell
2
you.
2 kills and a win sounds like a rat.
There's going to be a rotation in the future where me and Bab are on a team. And at that point, I'll have a lot more experience. It's going to be nasty. But right now,
then you might not rat.
But right now, as much as I hate to say it, we have to put the crown on the new king.
Yep, Brian is the winner. So congratulations to Kyle for carrying Brian.
Wow.
Great job. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did I carry me?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
He did not. There was one game where Kyle took the dominance, and there was a game where I took the dominance.
I didn't even mean to. That was just. It totally just came. I didn't mean to say that. Congratulations to Brian. Seriously though, he is the winner. He is our Bones winner. So the 2-time is done. It is now Brian is our Bones champion. And so congratulations to Brian. He won with the most bones ever, and he redeemed his original awful challenge by getting Troy down to 0. Now it's a 1-for-1 here.
The best part about this,
very impressive.
The best part about this was I am the reason why Troy hit 0.
Yeah, I know. It feels good, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
It feels real good.
It does.
It does. And you were the first to break 1,000, and
First.
now you're the first to break 5,000. So those are big firsts.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see somebody get to 5,000 again. But I mean, it was a great run.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
It was a great run.
It
We're
was a
eventually
really
going to
great
see
run.
these.
If you
some
win
of our-
another one consecutively, you might get a prize.
Listen,
Maybe.
dicks.
But
Brian
Brian will get his battle pass bought for this.
Yeah.
I am curious about coming up with all these guys that are now starting to receive bones from the tournaments that we do, the duos tournaments.
Yeah.
And how they will pan out in the betting because they can bet on the boxing matches.
Yes,
now.
they can. And now let's get to that was our little tournament between us just for the bones. We did have a duos tournament, and we have a winner from that duos tournament, and it's none of us at this table. It was the team Goopa with 141 points. Congratulations to
that's
Goopa.
That's a good score.
You guys did really, really fucking good. Congratulations. You're the winner of the first ever duos tournament. And I said that I would send you guys a Raise Energy pack since it was the first one. So I'm going to do that. I'll send that to you guys ASAP once I figure out who Goopa was. I just got to look through the shit.
I have it. It was
it Cookie?
It was Cookie and
Fluffy?
no, it was not Fluffy. It was where is it? Ellen Cryptic.
Cookie and Ellen
Cookie
Cryptic.
and Ellen
Congratulations to both of you guys. You guys are the winner of the duos tournament. The way that shook out was Goopa was first, Cookie and Ellen Cryptic. Then it was me and Carter, second place, 131. Then it was Kyle and our friend King at 121, third place. Then it was Lightning Bite with 104. And in the lowly basement was Troy and Brian. So
Happens.
With how many points?
with 90.
I've got all the.
I was trying to spare you.
You were
I have
down by
all.
50
I have all the
to
bones.
first place.
I have all the bones here for everyone. And as you heard your bones listed off, know that those bones are actually going to be divided by 2 and split evenly between you and your teammates. So, for example, Team Goopa, the number 1 leader in this, Ellen Cryptic and Cookie, they had 141 bones. That will be split evenly between the 2 of them, with the extra bone being tossed at a coin flip between them.
Let's get into, so now we had our duos tournament. Now it's time to get into the boxing for next week. There's going to be a shitload of good fights on the boxing card this week, so let's get into those. I want to start off with our main event. Unfortunately, Alerted Furball has had a lot of work stuff he's had to do. He's our number 1 fighter. He's been the number 1 fighter, reigning for probably the last 2 or 3 weeks, but he will be unavailable. So we're going to go with our number 2 and our number 3 fighters. Benny Boy, a.k.a. Benny Boomstick, going up against the Silent Assassin, Coochie Lord, main event. What do you guys think? That's going to be a tough one. So in the last event, Coochie Lord and Benny Boy went up against each other as co-main event and main event champions just to go head-to-head. I said it was off the books. I just wanted to see how it went just so everybody watching the stream could enjoy it. And Benny Boy came out on top pretty soundly. They both run the Bloodhound. So this is going to be tough to bet on.
It was an exhibition, regardless. They both run Bloodhound, like you said. But look, Benny made me a lot of bones last time. Mm-hmm. He had a pretty hefty payday for me. It's going to be hard for me to go against that moving forward.
Yeah,
Benny's good.
He's good.
Benny's good, man. He's good. And now
he's composed.
Now it's looking like we might actually have a real ring to do this in, which would be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, depending on when it'll be a little bit before that event, but
okay.
The event is happening a lot sooner than I thought it was going to, because they're already putting teasers in. You wouldn't know because you can only play Olympus 2 hours out of the day, but there are Pathfinder teasers all around the map. So that is coming soon, Fight Night, and they will have some boxing rings. We will talk about that more when it actually gets released officially. But yes, the co-main event will be Game Biz, the business decision, going up against Solar Plexus Nexus, and that is the number 3 and the number 4 fighter. One's going to be interesting.
Who's number 3?
It is Game Biz.
Game Biz?
Yes.
Game, I got you on this one, I think.
I have to go.
Game, for once, I think I'm betting on you.
Game, I don't know, man.
It's tough for me to bet on Game Biz. I love Game Biz. He's probably one of the most outspoken people in the group. He's very confident, but I think he gets a little freaked out when it comes to those big fights. So that is our co-main event. Going to be a good fight. Those are our 2 main events. Now we've switched up the way we do this because now instead of doing a top 5 list, we have a top 10 list, and it's a reverse ladder. So our fight for number 6 will be between Fluffy to God and BBOGR Baby Ogre. I've never met a dude. I've
Let's
never met a
go.
dude who leaned more into a name than Baby Ogre. Changed everything to Baby Ogre. He is our rampart.
yeah.
I watched him fight this weekend. He made one of the cheekiest plays on some poor new soul to the boxing scene. Made a V out of the Rampart shields, trapped them in it, and beat the living fuck out of this poor
great.
kid.
That's
It was
awesome.
so legit that I am betting on Baby Ogre no matter fucking what. Fluffy, a.k.a. Puffy, he's good, but I got to bet on Baby Ogre. I can't not.
Ingenuity, you got.
And if I lose that bet, I won't even be mad.
Yeah,
Baby
you can't-
Ogre, I'm riding with.
I like that.
I got
I
Ogre.
like that.
I like Ogre right now. Like I said, my bets are subject to change once I actually see the fighters in the ring and I hear from them and stuff like that.
Fluffy's got to prove it to me, man. I like Baby Ogre. He's on my side.
Fluffy did prove it to me last week against Cookie in one of the prelims, and I know Fluffy is good. He fought again this week. He is good. But I'm going to give it to Ogre, and I'm going to move on from there. So that is our fight for 6th on the list. Now, the loser of that fight will go down a tier and be fighting for number 7. That will be whoever loses up against Chicken Wing. Now, so for instance, let's say Fluffy ends up losing. He will go down in the ranking list and then fight for number 7th place with a Chicken Wing. Say he loses again, he'll go down again and fight Christmas Tree. If he loses again, he'll go down and fight Andrew Ortega. If he goes down again, he'll fight Cookie for 10th. So that's how our list is going to be made. And once our list is made, we have a whole nother section for called call-outs, where you can call anybody out, and we'll set that shit up, and we'll get ready to go. So
That's
lots
amazing.
of cool stuff coming in our boxing thing. Got to give a big shout-out to Shadow Storm. Super helpful. Just came into the Discord within a week. She already had amazing suggestions. She has weight classes set up. She had everything for me on the day the fight night video was released. So we've got a lot of stuff in the works. Also, if you guys missed it, our logo dropped this weekend on Sunday. I got to show everybody the logo we've been working on for a while for the boxing. Check that out if you haven't seen it.
So sick.
Dude,
So
I
sick.
fucking love
So
that logo.
sick.
Fucking
sick.
dope.
They did a
What's the name of
phenomenal
those guys?
Yeah.
That is our boy. That's our boy Joe. His gamer tag is I'm remembering his friends. J Duck, the first ever fight.
Yeah, Duck.
J Duck, the first ever fight against Brian. So J Duck made the logo. Thank you so much, J Duck. You did a fantastic job. If you haven't checked it out, go look at my recent streams. You'll see it in there. It is fucking sick. So now we're gonna move down to Chicken Wing. And I don't think Chicken Wing could beat either Fluffy to God or Baby Ogre. I just don't think he can. I think Chicken Wing is one of the contestants that might roll down to the 10th spot. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. I've just watched Cookie fight. I've watched Christmas Tree fight. I've watched Christmas Tree is actually Midas.
I haven't seen Christmas Tree fight, so I'm excited to see these new
Midas
guys
was
come
very solid.
He's got the touch.
So I actually have a
His
question.
name is the Golden Touch.
Actually,
You also have, if you haven't checked in the
cool.
Discord, I have boxing nicknames for everybody who's boxed, and Midas is Midas the Golden Touch.
That's
So that'll round out our boxing tournament. That is this Sunday, 12 p.m. Pacific, meaning 12 p.m. Pacific. Okay, guys? So if you're in Eastern time, it'll be 3 o'clock for you. Central time, 2 o'clock. Mountain time, 1 o'clock. Either way, 12 p.m. Pacific. And if you don't know time conversion, just look it up on the internet. Like, what is 12 p.m. Pacific in my zone or whatever? I've done that before. It's easy. You figure it out. 12 p.m. Pacific. That is when this boxing tournament will go down at the Grab My Banner podcast Twitch page. Feel free to give us a sub. Hit us with anything you like. If you like what we're doing, we'll be having that this weekend. Should be me and Kyle on the call this week. Did you
Hell
want to
yeah.
call?
what day? Oh, is it Sunday?
Sunday.
At 12 p.m. Pacific?
It is Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific.
Oh,
It'll be
man.
here, I think.
Okay.
That sounds amazing.
And Sunday, 12 p.m. Pacific is when the open fight hour starts.
That's when the open fight hour starts. Then we will. This time it will actually be an hour. The last few weeks it's just been however
3
many people
hours,
box.
yeah.
Yeah.
This time it will actually be an hour because we just wanted to test out the open fight hour last time. This time it will be an hour. So at 12 p.m. Pacific, open fight hour begins. If you're new, if you're trying to make a name for yourself, be a guy like LN Cryptic. Came into the open fight hour, won like 6 fights in a row. He was badass. Now he's winning fucking tournaments in the Grab My Banner Club. So do that. Join on the open fight hour. It'll be fun as fuck. All right. So that will be this Sunday, 12 p.m. Pacific at Grab My Banner Podcast Twitch. Drop on by, say what's up. We'll be in chat. We'll be talking. We'll be calling boxing matches. If you're like, hey, fuck it, I just want to fight. A lot of you guys, a lot of people out there are like scared to like ask to fight, and they're scared to like lose. Bro, we're having fun, man. That's all that this club, that's all this podcast is about, is having fun, not making fun of the game, but making a game that can be serious fun. That's our whole premise is based upon that. So never feel like you got to win out. We have Palmer, who fucking loses every single fight, but the dude just has fun doing it. Be like Palmer.
Dude,
Palmer's a good guy.
Listen, I fucking love Palmer, and I will gladly box Palmer anytime because there's a damn good chance I'll actually win that one.
Yeah.
But
he did get his first win in a very long time.
On the side note,
last week.
Yeah, I was going to say on the side note, Palmer very well might kick my ass because I haven't boxed in a little while, but you know what? I'm about to get out there and fucking dominate these open fight hours.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we will be here, and then Troy will most likely be in the booth with us, hopefully. We hope. And then we will get into all the fights. So, guys, I think that should just about wrap it up.
That's it.
I hope all of you guys have a fantastic holiday. I hope your Christmas is amazing. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope your holiday is amazing. Have a fantastic time out there. Have fun. Play Apex. Don't take it too seriously. Have a good time. I'll fuck you up in Winter Express. Do we want to say anything else before we head out other than the socials?
Kyle's the bad teammate.
No,
You're
it's
the bad
definitely Brian's the bad
Brian's the
teammate.
bad teammate.
Brian's the
No, I'm
bad
not. Kyle,
teammate.
you're trying to
You're
deflect
the
this
bad
off of you.
teammate.
You're the no.
All right, so don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and then join our Discord channel. If you're in our Discord channel, just act like you're part of the family because you really are. That's where we do all of our work. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Shadowstorm for helping us organize this boxing tournament. We will catch you guys on the other end of the holiday. I hope it's fantastic. See you guys later.